Hello everyone, I am Jack and I'm back and a quick update. So people have asked me, hey, what do I look for when I am putting the wax on using your method? If you noticed with the PVA, it was a glossy surface everywhere, which is good. It's flat, glossy. When I put the wax on, notice the gloss. I'm not sure if the video shows this, but the gloss has gone away. It's a dull surface. And if you look close, not sure if you can see it in the video, but the wax, you can see the wax there. So that's what I'm talking about. If you were doing a normal wax job, you would wax on, wax off. So put the wax on, let it go to a dull finish, and then you would wax this off. It's the waxing off where you're going to typically damage the PVA. So I don't take the wax off. I just leave it like that. Now, in theory, the PVA should be enough. In theory, the wax should be enough. Both of those should allow the part to come out of the mold. My experience with the PVA is it ain't so great. It almost acts like a slight glue. It is water soluble, so if you've got the patience, you can crack it loose and then put water in there and let it soak and all that stuff, but I don't have that kind of patience. So I want it just to pop out. So that's why I do it this way. So that way, if I miss something waxing or I miss something on the PVA, it's not a big deal because it's taken care of. Okay, just wanted to update you on this in case you're following along and trying to do a project like this. Put the PVA on, let it completely dry. And that's the other thing. With the PVA, it has to dry 100% between each layer. Otherwise, when you put the new one on, the liquid in the new one softens the old one, and you basically are defeating the purpose of trying to put on multiple layers. So you'll just end up with one thinner layer, and it could run or sag because you've just reliquefied the PVA you put on previously. Okay, so now I am ready to put on the gel coat. Again, I'm going to put on gray sandable gel coat. Can't use a foam brush because the polyester resin eats up foam almost on contact. So what I've got are these cheap chip brushes here. Thing to watch out for is that the hairs can come out. So you got to watch for hairs in your gel coat. Do not brush it on. That will tend to cause what's called alligatoring. The thickness needs to be about 20 thousandths of an inch, which I don't have the PVA here, but I'll show you what I do. So I'll take the brush. My rule is I never touch the mold unless I have dipped the brush in gel coat first. If I touch the brush without doing that, I'm typically pulling up gel coat instead of putting it down. I don't go back and try to even it out and that because it ends up causing thin spots. So I just blob it on. The fiberglass is going to go on the back. So the gel coat will be the front surface and it will look exactly like this. Defects, good spots, everything. The backside gets covered with fiberglass resin. So it doesn't matter if it's smooth or not on the backside because any undulations get taken care of. Now you don't want it to look horrible, but again, it doesn't have to be absolutely flat and smooth, and mine never is. Okay, and so then I have to let that cure. The way you know when the PVA is, when the gel coat is cured is you'll run your finger across it and it may be tacky to the touch, but it won't come off on your finger. And then once it's at that stage, then you can start with the fiberglass. I'm using fiberglass matte and polyester resin. I cut a pattern out to do these things. Others say, don't do that, tear off pieces and piece it together. The problem I have with that is you're not going to end up with a uniform surface. It's hard to tell where you have and haven't put the fiberglass on. So by doing it with a layer of a pattern cutout, I know each layer. First layer is going to be 40 thousandths. Typically it's 40 thousandths thick, and then the second layer will be 40 thousandths. So if you take the gel coat at 20, and then 40 thousandths for first layer of fiberglass matte, 40 thousandths for the second layer, you end up with 100 thousandths or a tenth of an inch part, and it'll be uniform all the way across the part. Now, if I do have some overlap or something, it's not a big deal, but the idea to me is get it as uniform as possible. All right, that's my update for this. Like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate, and if you don't like what I'm doing, You don't know jack. Bye.